Hey guys, I'm Matt Cooney of MC Future Fitness and welcome to the first official YouTube video. Today we're going to be taking you through one of my full workouts and we're going to be going through each exercise, and basically what I want to do is just show you what I'm doing, why I do it, and maybe give you some kind of things to think about on each exercise. And I'm sure in between we'll be talking about lots of random little stuff as well. So if you do get some value from this, or if you do enjoy it, I would really appreciate if you can hit the like, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment if you want. The more that we can help grow this channel, the more content I'll be able to provide you guys. So hope you enjoy it, and let's go inside. So at the moment, I'm 8 weeks into this current training plan, and today is actually my last session before a full week off the gym. But I have been following Eugene's program since my last photo shoot, which was 8 weeks ago. I'm currently in a lean gaining phase, so I've gained about 10 pounds in the last 8 weeks. We're not going to talk about that today, my nutrition and stuff, but if you do have an interest in it and you would like me to go through it maybe in a separate video, just drop a comment below and I can make that happen. So Eve is going to be working out with me today as well. She doesn't like the camera, so she's just going to actually do the workout and I'll talk. So the first exercise we're going to do is the incline dumbbell press. This is going to be our heavy movement for the day. We're going to go for 3 sets between 4 to 6 reps. So with this exercise, I've been progressing it for the last quite a few weeks. I'm at the stage where it's actually very tough to progress now. I'm quite weak in upper body pushing movements, so progress is really slow. But again, with it, I'm just trying to get one more rep from last week. So I'm going for 3 sets of 4. So I actually wanted 3 sets of 4 on this and I failed, so we're gonna pack it up and leave. But so I wanted 3 sets of 4, only got sets of 3. That is probably one reason as well why I'm taking a full week off next week. Over the last 8 weeks, I've been training really hard, haven't taken a training deload at all. So I am a bit kind of fatigued, and I have noticed over the last week kind of performance has started to stall, and also my sleep is getting a bit disrupted. So we're going to be taking a full week off training next week for the first time in God knows how long, so no weight at all. So with that incline dumbbell press, what I'll probably do going forward is, if it keeps stalling and I'm not progressing, is change the progression scheme, probably to something like a reverse pyramid, where I do 1 really heavy set, 2 lighter sets, and then if that doesn't work, I will probably change up the exercise. Something that I definitely done wrong in the past was changing exercises too quickly or too often. Anytime I seen any stall in progress, I would just switch it out. Whereas, like, the way I look at it now is you're still making progress even when it's very slow on those lifts. And sometimes when you change an exercise, it's going to take you quite a while to build up that skill in the exercise again. So I'm kind of reluctant to change them, especially like for an incline dumbbell press. I really like that exercise, I feel it well, and if I switch to something else, it might take me another 6 weeks to kind of build up that momentum. So that's just something that a mistake I've made that I'm not doing anymore. I'm not as quick to change exercises. Okay, so next exercise, we're going to do a superset here. We're going to be doing tricep dips or ring dips supersetted with a chest press machine. So we're going for 4 sets of 6 to 8 on the dips and 4 sets of 15 to 20 on the chest press. So this is after the first heavy exercise. We're doing higher reps here. We won't be pushing as hard either. We're going to try and keep a couple of reps away from failure. With the ring dips, honestly, if I was doing the most optimal program ever, I would probably not do the ring dips as they're quite difficult in terms of stability. But this is one of those things where I'm actually enjoying doing this movement, and it's kind of like a challenge for me. So I actually couldn't do one full rep when I first started doing this, whereas now I'm doing sets of 6 to 8. So again, that's kind of difference between running like the most optimal program in the world and just doing things you enjoy, you know. So now we're going to move on to shoulders. So we're going to do a superset. We're going to be doing upper back or rear delt focus row, and we're going to be supersetting that with a Y raise. So I'll run you through each exercise. So we're essentially trying to target rear delts with the first exercise and then your medial delts with the second. We're going to do 3 sets of 15 to 20 on each exercise. With this exercise, it's kind of like a hybrid in between a lat pull down and a seated row. So what you want to focus on is pulling, when you pull, elbows out wide. So we don't want our elbows in like you would if you were trying to focus on your lats. So elbows out wide, really pulling apart and then driving back to try to get that rear delt as sharp as possible. So this finishing position here really wants to emphasize your rear delt and then a nice stretch on the way up. So with the Y raises, what I'm really trying to do is focus on catching it with my delt at the top, because that's where the most tension is here. And a lot of people are prone to swinging and then they don't really use their delt at the top here to control it down. One thing you'll notice with both these exercises is I'm actually doing them both on an incline bench. So the main reason for this is just to provide more stability. So again, if I wasn't to use the bench, I'm more likely to use body English and then create momentum, whereas essentially the bench here is creating more stability, so that's more ability to produce force, which is going to help to put more tension through the muscle that I want. So like most of the time, if you can create more stability in an exercise, it's going to be better. So that's the reason for using this. Okay, so on the last set of both those exercises, we're doing what's called a rest pause method. So what this is you'll complete your reps, whatever it is, 15 to 20. You're just going to rest for about 10 to 15 seconds, so usually 5 deep breaths, and then you're just going to go again for as many reps as you can. We like to do it on the last set, just so that you can go to failure and essentially get out a little bit more volume before you move on to the next exercise. So next exercise is a single arm dumbbell preacher curl. So we're going to do 3 sets here, 12, 10, 8. We're going to try to take as little rest as possible. So again, this is focusing on the bicep, and really technique wise, what you want to make sure you're doing, locking your upper arm on this here. Again, like the other exercises where we're using the chest for stability, this is just going to give a lot more stability here, and also just making sure my wrist, elbow and shoulder is in line, so I'm not kind of out this way or this way. So usually for me, I'll have to twist my body slightly sidewards just to get a good position here. And then we're going to take these to failure. So I don't do actually much biceps at all in my training, so I only do like 6 sets in the whole week. So I like to take most of them to failure or very close to it.
Yeah, we in this section, but you can't get in. Quit asking me questions. Yeah, I got the new Chrysler, blue with the tint. Quit asking me questions. I'm tired of these questions, asking me questions. I want them questions. They all in my business like TMZ, but back in the day they ain't noticed me. They weren't coming to see me like Otis, but I always felt like the coldest. I had a little chip on my shoulder, then I got older and older, and I had to flick it off. I feel like a boss, like I'm.
So now we're gonna move on to the leg portion of the workout. So we're gonna be focusing on glutes and hamstrings. With this, we're not really trying to set like PBs or lift as heavy as we can. So this is day 4 of the workout of our training split. So on day 1, we done our kind of heavy glute hamstring work. This is just to kind of supplement it and add a bit more volume to the overall week. So we're going to be starting with snatch grip barbell RDLs. We're going to do 4 sets of 6, and we're also putting a pause, kind of a dead stop at the bottom. So really here, again, I really like this movement for teaching the hip hinge and really reinforcing that good like motor pattern with the hip hinges. I find it can be very beneficial for your heavier movements, and it also does work the upper back a lot. So yeah, we're gonna go snatch grip RDLs, 4 sets of 6. Try to make sure we're pausing in the bottom to make sure that we're keeping tension on the hamstrings. A lot of people are very inclined to do an RDL but lose tension here at the bottom and put a lot through their back instead of using their actual hamstrings. So again, this is a good exercise to kind of reinforce that.
Yeah, I got the new Chrysler, blue with the tint. Quit asking me questions. I'm tired of these questions, asking me questions. I want them questions. Yeah, I know you, but we ain't friends. Quit asking me questions. Yeah, we in this section, but you can't get in. Quit asking me questions. Yeah, I got the new Chrysler, blue with the tint. Quit asking me questions. I'm tired of these questions, asking me questions. I want them questions. Question. Quit asking me. Question.
So when you're performing the RDL, one thing you really have to focus on is moving from the hips. So really pushing the hips back to allow that stretch in the hamstrings. A lot of people will end up moving their spine. So if you really focus on driving the hips back towards behind you, letting your body naturally come down until you feel that stretch in your hamstring. Should feel like it's completely lengthened at the bottom, and then really driving up with the hips. So abs should be tight all the time, bar nice and close. Really focus on the hips back to allow that stretch in the hamstring.
Yeah, I got the new Chrysler, blue with the tint. Quit asking me questions. I'm tired of these questions, asking me questions. I want them questions. Yeah, I know you, but we ain't friends. Quit asking me questions. Yeah, we in this section, but you can't get in. Quit asking me questions.
So now we're just going to move on to the lying leg curl. We're going to finish up. So this is the last exercise. We're going to do 3 sets of 6 reps on each side. So we're going to do single leg, 1 at a time. We're going to try and take as little rest as possible. And on the last set then we're going to go to failure. So we're going to extend the set and just keep going until we can't do any more. Okay guys, that's it for today's workout. Hope you enjoyed it and got some value. If you do have any questions about my training, nutrition, just pop a comment below. And again, if you can, like and subscribe to the channel, it would be hugely appreciated. Also, you can follow me on MC Future Fitness on Instagram, Facebook, and also check out the website mcfuturefitness.com for more info on our products or services.